Ooh. If only the switch would work without me having to push it. That'd be great. Yeah. I'm not here to just play with the sign, but what I have for you instead is a second mold. Still don't have my plastic to work with that first one, sadly, but I have some more, the rest of my Moldstar 15 Slow here, which is fan-freaking-tastic. Get a little light in there so you can see it better. Great stuff, and unfortunately not cheap, but that's the way mold making is. So what I'm going to do is take what little there is left of this, and I measured this out, and I think it should be just about exactly what I need. So I'm a little nervous, to say the least. I've got to go get a paper towel because I'm going to make a mess of myself. I'm right behind you. Just put that right there because I've already messed my fingers up pretty bad because of this thing being so messy. Okay, so combine these two suckers. Hopefully I don't overflow it. Try to clean it out as well as possible. I don't really want to lose any of this. I'm kinda terrified of not having enough. It shouldn't be a problem, but you never know. Okay. That's getting pretty close. So, good thing is this is a slow setting rubber, so I don't have to worry as much about getting it in and doing it really, really quickly. So I can spend my time mixing it more thoroughly, being really careful to make sure I don't have any parts that are still needing to be mixed. So that's really good stuff. Scrape it off my stick here so I don't have any spots of unmixed stuff. Scrape the sides all the way down to the bottom, and then run several times across the bottom, trying really hard to make sure you get every little centimeter of everything, all the nooks and crannies, all that stuff. My hand is already cramping up. I should get bigger sticks to do this with. But I'm getting close now. Okay. So here's the trick. Trying to hit that little hole. Do it relatively slowly so it doesn't trap any kind of bubbles. And I'm pouring from quite a ways up so that it can get rid of some of those bubbles as it goes down. It kind of pulls them out. Sometimes you make several bubbles trying to mix, of course. So pouring from a long ways up makes it a lot less of a problem. I've seen people really go crazy with pouring really high up. Not necessary, but a little ways is a good idea. And I'm going slowly, so it'll just kind of seep into all the little nooks and crannies. You can already see it starting to come up to the top of the figure. So I definitely have plenty. I've got more than I needed. That's probably for the best. Let's fill it basically all the way up. Whoop, that's going to make it drain because I filled a little too much. See it already starting to go that way. So I've got a little extra, but, whoops, dripping on stuff here. Oh, for crying out loud. Do the things that I'm showing or trying to get you to do. Good thing this is a piece of junk cutting board. It's almost like I chose that on purpose. And then I dripped some on my butcher block over here, so I'll clean that up better in a little while. So I have a little bit extra, and I have this little turtle head here. Ooh, hiccup, excuse me. So what I'm really tempted to try to do is see if I can get it to go into the cup that I've actually got and make a mold of the same thing I've already got a casting of. It's not quite as much rubber as I would need for that, really. So it may not work. And it's definitely not the ideal angle and positioning. We'll see. I may just play with that as it starts getting thicker. Just kind of pull it around on top of the thing. What I'm hoping to do with it is have a mold that's good enough to actually make a casting, but I'm hoping to try it out with soaking it for a few days in mineral spirits to basically make it expand, make it bigger, see if I can make a bigger turtle head. That'd be kind of fun. Just a trial, see how it works. So hopefully this doesn't drain too much. I don't want to clean too much rubber up in the morning, but I'll definitely let it sit for a while. I don't know why I do that. It's not like it really works with rubber. I'm so used to making molds with plaster. All right. Yep, that one's settling out, and you can see the head sitting in there. Not what you want. Wonder if I could manipulate it by doing some squishing. Talk about mold making the wrong way. That's not how you're supposed to do it. Oh, in fact, I didn't put mold release on that. Oh, that might not happen at all. Whoops. I hadn't planned for this, so I didn't do that yet. This clay doesn't have to worry about it. But that might. Oh, and now that I think about it, this one had the rubber or the wooden ball for the eyeballs, so that might be a little tricky. Lovely. All these things I'm not used to using other materials for doing this, so I may be messing them up, but we'll see. This thing keeps trying to lift, kind of float. So apparently it's made out of a material that's less dense than the fluid of the rubber. I've got really like 1920s, 20s and 30s, I think, Halloween going on in the background. I think that's what I did last time I did this too. Hopefully you can't hear it well enough to worry about copyright. Plus, I'm not sure how copyright works. That really old of music. So hopefully YouTube doesn't have a problem with that. If it does, this will all be silent and you're going to wonder why in the world I'm just sitting here staring at stuff. Let's be more entertaining. Whee! Yeah, the slow thing is, certainly is. So, I may have to cut off the video and just keep babysitting this thing for a while. Hopefully you can see some of the bubbles that are coming up through the rubber. So that's one of the good things about this slow, is that it'll filter those bubbles up and hopefully get them all to the top instead of trapped underneath things. That's never a fun deal. But yep, hopefully I don't have too much problem. Alrighty, that's probably good enough for a video. I'll see you soon. Hopefully I'll get that plastic so I can show you making some of this stuff. Later. Hi there. So, I've got this stuff from last night cured up really nicely, ready to go, and hopefully they turn out well. This, I already know, turned out way better than I was hoping for. It's not a good mold still because it was touching edges in a few places, of course. So in order to make a casting with this, it's going to be not very good anyway. But I can try to put something over these spots that are going to be holes and give it a shot anyway. But we'll see what this turns out like, if I can get it out of there at all without destroying the mold. There we go. Looks like it molded perfectly. If I do a serious version of this, that could be pretty fun. Yeah, cool stuff. So yeah, like you can see that there are very overly thin spots, of course, but that's okay. Hopefully this one will turn out okay, because that's my real sculpture. So, unfortunately, this is where it gets really slow and boring, because this is going to take a little while, I think. I'm going to see if I can get the whole thing out. That would be really nice. Yeah, there we go. Hey, that worked out better than normal. Okay. So, you can see the rubber from underneath here, and that's where my hot glue spots are. Yeah, we're going to just see if we can pull it apart. Oh, yeah, it looks like I had quite a lot of runoff. Thankfully, I had plenty of rubber in it. Boy, that really managed to get messy. And I'm going to have to make sure I get rid of that before I make more sculptures or get prepared for molds like this again. Oop. Actually, that's where I want it. I'm going to turn on light here. It's just a little dark. Weird time of day here with the lighting anyway. Huh, got some water on me. Must have had some trapped in there somewhere. Oh yeah, that means that I've got a really messy mold. I was afraid that was going to be the case with me working with it so cold in a lot of it. I couldn't really mold it too smoothly to a lot of the areas, so yeah. But this is being a pain in the booty, so we're going to see what we can do about just spoon carving something off of it. I need to be careful because I don't want to hit my mold any more than I have to, because this isn't as likely to destroy it or anything, but it could still be bad. So yeah, this is going to take forever. There's some rubber finally. There's some more water that I had trapped in there. Okay, well, I don't have a knife with me at the moment. Otherwise I could slice in here and then we could pull this off and hopefully have a good mold. But I think what I'll have to do is cut the camera off for a moment and go get one. Okay. Crazy mold. Looks awful, but hopefully it's not going to be bad. So I'm slicing. Whoop. Hopefully not messing up everything. Going back in and making sure I finish the cut. Yep, that should do it. So, cap up my knife so I don't slice everything up. I needed to tighten that up apparently. All right, so here's the scary part. I'm really hoping I can get this thing out of there without too much of a problem, which is looking like that's not going to happen at all. Yank that out of there. That might make it a little bit easier, but not going to be a good sign for the castings. I may have to resort to cutting this a little bit farther. I really don't want to. As it is, I might have to put a rubber band around it or something so that it seals off this little cut that I'm making. Really don't want to cut anymore. But it's really distinctly looking like I need to. I don't know. It looked weird. Oh well, okay. I was really afraid that might be the case, so I think I'll probably have to cut down this way a bit in order to pull the tail out. It was such a flipped up around shape, I was really afraid that this wasn't going to work with me. So this isn't too big of a surprise. Now if I can remember, good thing my mold kind of looks a little bit like it. Let's see what we can do with that. I don't want to go any more than I have to. Oh, I was a little off there from the center. But this is much, much bigger. Surely this is going to be close enough. Then again, I could be wrong. Okay, so that goes that way. Oi. Not happy. This stuff is stiff. Not quite what I was expecting. surely that's going to let go. Stupid complex shapes. Yeah, definitely going to have to rubber band it together. Ugh, come on. I have to cut this way too. Darn it. Should have planned for this to begin with, I guess. There we go. Good thing is the rubber didn't stick to my wood, so that's good. That also didn't sound appropriate. That's not what I meant. This, however, of course, pulled and straightened in order to get out of there. You can see from the stretches and the tearing there. So that might be, that's why I finally decided to cut up towards the top here. That way I can hopefully finagle this to pull the head out and then let it rotate around with the plastic that's going to be a semi-rigid, so it'll have a little bit of flexibility, but I don't want to push it too far. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a pain in the booty, but that's kind of the way it works when you have a much more complex kind of a shape, as whatever that meant. So hopefully, as I pull it open, I need to clean out some of those little bits of clay in there, like that. But as soon as I get my rubber, or the plastic, then I should be able to use this. Solid bit of little rubber there. So, okay, looks like a horrible mess. Kind of a fun little meteorite shape or something. But, yep. Now it's still back to the waiting game. Wait for that plastic to come in. Sucks not being close to a major metropolitan center where I can actually find a smooth-on distributor really close. The closest one's like 6-hour drive or something crazy, so it would be a really, really, really long day to do something like that. So I've had to order it in. However, if this kind of thing keeps up, I may be doing that really, really long day to do that. In which case, I might even videotape myself doing this ridiculous road trip just for plastic. Anyway, for now, that's what we got. See you soon.